Hello and welcome back to 3 Martini Lunch Plays Kerbal Space Program. I am 3 Martini Lunch and I am playing Kerbal Space Program. This will be episode 3 of my Better Than Starting Manned Career Mode Challenge series, in which I participate in the Better Than Starting Manned Career Mode Challenge, started by Depth Engineering in the KSP forums. There'll be a link to it in the show description. So here's where I left off last time with all the Tier 3 Science and 71 Science points. There's a couple of submissions coming up. One is to get all Tier 3 Science from 2 biomes with no more than 2 items on the on the Tier 4 Science unlocked. And let's see, that's the Spudnik sub-challenge. There's also the Survivor sub-challenge if I can complete Tier 4 with no fatalities. And then the Biome Hunter 2, which is to collect Tier 3 Science from all 9 of Kerbin's major biomes. So, I am going to unlock one of these items right now, and I figure I can almost get 2. So basically, if I can get a manned mission into the lower atmosphere, I think that'll give me enough to open up other science. So I'm going to take this, which gives me primarily this decoupler here. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that, and then we'll get back out to the VAB, and I'll build a spaceship to. Well, this one's not really going to be a spaceship. Oh, I've already started. I noticed I didn't have the decoupler, so that's when I decided, well, I'll go ahead and buy that and start recording. So I'll put the decoupler on there. And I don't have to do much, just get up to, I'm having some mouse problems out lately. Just get up to 12,500 kilometers and drop the, collect a crew report, and then drop the lower stage and float on down to the water. And this is, I think I'm on mission 6. Yeah. So again, I've tried to type. And we'll just call this Crude 1. And we'll save that. Who we got in here? No, we didn't hire any. Let's go ahead and hire some new astronauts. So we got any. Billy Bodger, that one's kind of funny, I guess. Oh, Sheldon, we don't want Sheldon in there. And I've seen a better selection of names before. I like having funny names on the guys, and we'll let Billy Bodger take the first crewed mission in the Kerbal Space Program. And we're going to get out on the launch pad, and actually I'm going to switch to post commentary as soon as we get a visual here, so I can turn off the recording. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch to post commentary so it's a little bit faster. And here we are in post commentary. The first thing I want to do here is apologize for the length of time it has taken me to post this video. I took a week-long vacation where I was without a computer and completely jonesing for Kerbal Space Program. Anyways, I'm back, and we'll go ahead and continue this. I'm not sure what the upcoming 0.24 is going to do to this series. I've got this at a separate save, so it's not going to be affected by the update, but I don't know if it's going to make all the work I do obsolete or what. But we'll see. The Jeb's career certainly is going to die with the 0.24 update. Anyway, separate the capsule. That's a non-pressurized capsule, by the way. If you go above 30 kilometers, any Kerbals inside are going to die for a lack of oxygen. In this case, I had to get up to 12.5, so anything from 12.5 to 30 is okay. That's a pretty easy target to hit. And let's see, getting ready to pop that chute. Come on out. There it is. Jump just a little bit. We're going to jump ahead to splashdown, go ahead and do the recovery. And we'll be in the R&D building in just a moment to see what I pick up. Okay, so here I am in the R&D building again. I recorded the segment and realized I had not set fraps to record from the microphone, so we just got a bunch of nothing. Anyways, I bought for that one sub challenge. I need to get something into orbit, and the only way to do that is I'm going to need some control authority while in vacuum, and it has to be with these. It's the only control authority I have. And again, it's going to get something into orbit with only 2 nodes unlocked from Tier 4, and I also get to get science, tier 3 science from 2 biomes. So that's the one I bought. So we'll get in the VAB and take a look at the ship I'm launching up that's going to do that for me. Right here, and we've got a lifter stage here. You'll notice it's got a cockpit on it, and there's not going to be anybody in there. That is specifically so I can get the SAS. I don't like piloting ship manually, so that's what that's there for. We just got 4 of these around the outside with winglets on it. One here. We'll take this off. Very basic rocket. We're going to get the tier 3 science from these. There's one on the other side as well. And I figure I'm going to need, well, I've got 300 energy on here. What did I figure out before? It's 450 a piece. So if I have to, I can get up to 4 reports. I only need 2 to satisfy the challenge, but might as well get as many as possible. So let's get out on the launch pad, and we'll see how this puppy performs. All right, and here we are on the launch pad, and we do it's going to be an uneventful, mostly uneventful. You'll see we get up, do the gravity turn. I'm using RCS for this. Again, those I don't know why I put the fins on there, to be honest. They wouldn't have been able to turn me over this far. And you can see a little wobbly there with the even with the SAS on. And let's see, approaching 30,000 meters. Let's go ahead and decouple. And go ahead and turn over all the way to 0 degrees. And, oh yeah, I don't have SAS anymore, so I can kind of flounder around a little bit, and eventually get it back under control. You can see here, go ahead and establish an orbit. What's that? 101 by 87 kilometers. And starting with the science, we got let's see, nothing immediately below me, so we'll go ahead and start the waiting game. There we go. Get some tundra. And I think I need 2 on a single launch. There's shores. Go ahead and take care of that one. Water. And I don't know why there was a transition there. And once I pick up the water, I pick up the 3 and decide I don't have enough electricity after all to pick up a 4th. I thought I was going to get 4 biomes. And I was going to leave this thing in orbit as a memorial, but I want to test and see what happens. I'd never really used deadly reentry before, so I want to go ahead and test that. So here we come down to 40, we ran 35, I think is where the excitement began. Oh yeah, stuff just starts exploding. There we go, look at it, look at it go. And come on, let's see if we can make it. Oh, the whole thing's gone. Anyways, I'll see you in the R&D building. All right, back in R&D, I went ahead and satisfied that sub-challenge of, what was it? Yeah, achieve orbit in a single launch, in the same launch, achieve orbit and collect tier 3 science from 2 biomes. So far, I'm doing well on the survivor. No one's died yet. And I don't know if I'm going to be sending anybody up, any more people up. I already sent 1 guy. And then biome number 2 is to collect all the tier 3 science from Kerbin's low orbit. So to do that, this isn't really going to help. The ship I already have, the ship I just ran, can do that. But I'm going to do go ahead and pick up this science right here, because it's got a battery that's slightly more efficient, a little bit more electricity per per ounce or per ton, or whatever you want to call it. It's got the goo canister and the pressurized cockpit, but I won't be able to use those until I get this science as well, and I'll show you why. That probably won't be until next episode. But I'm going to go ahead and run this one, and it's I'll run it through a little bit. Well, let me pick it up now. I'll run it through a little bit faster. It's going to be the same ship, except I'm going to replace the batteries with these batteries right here, because they hold 8 times the charge, but only weigh let's see, they weigh 3. And these weigh 0.05. They only weigh 6 times as much, and they have 8 times the charge. So I can stick a little bit more on there because I've got to stay in orbit a while. I've got 3 more biomes to pick up. If you look at the gravity scan, I've got the gravity scan from grasslands, highlands, mountains, shores, tundra, and water. That leaves the ice caps, the badlands, and the desert. And I can do that in a polar orbit, but it takes a couple of orbits, so I'm going to go ahead and get that. We won't go back in the VAB. It's going to be the same ship you saw just a few minutes ago, except with the different batteries on it. We'll go straight to the launch pad, and we'll do a truncated launch and experiment on that. All right, and on to the launch pad. Go ahead and take off. Again, this is going to be a really truncated version of it. Go ahead and see me starting to establish a polar orbit. Go ahead and stabilize the orbit. You might hear some meowing. It's my cat trying to horn in on the action. And let's see, we had ice cap report, and desert, and finally the Badlands. And I think I left this one in orbit. I don't really recall. Anyways, let's get to the R&D building. One more time back in the R&D building. And I like to complete one tier before moving on to the next. For tier 3, I think that was a prerequisite for one of the sub-challenges. It's not for tier 4. Plus, I'm getting these shorter fuel tanks, so give me the ability to use the goo canister and this pressurized cockpit, and you'll see how it's minutes. So I'll go ahead and pick that up. 61 remaining, and these are what, a 90. Don't have enough to pick up one of these yet, so I'll go ahead. I think we got time for one more launch. I'll meet you in the VAB with what I'm working on. All right, here's going to be the last launch for this episode. All I have to do is get up past 30,000 meters, so there's not a lot to it. There's the lifter stage here, and then this thing doesn't quite have a 1.0 thrust to weight ratio, but it doesn't really need one. There's no easy way to, there's no radially mounted parachutes yet, so I can only put them on the top, and I need something to put them on the top of, so that's why I have these three tanks in a row. And went ahead and put some goo canisters on there. The idea is these chutes aren't going to slow this thing down nearly slow enough to land, but I'll have plenty of fuel in here, and I'll be able to do a rocket assisted landing. So I think that's it. So I'll see you out on the launch pad in post commentary. And here we are on the launch pad, getting ready to launch. There we go. We'll make this one quick. It's going to be the last launch of the episode. Go ahead and do a little bit of tilt over. I'm not getting into orbit, but I want to land in the water. I want to give those parachutes as much to work with as possible. See, I picked up a goo canister report at low atmosphere. Go ahead and get into high atmosphere. Now that is a pressurized cockpit, but it's only good up to the 69 kilometers of turbine atmosphere. Anyways, once you go beyond that, the guy will die. And it does have life support, so if you're above 12.5 kilometers, I believe, it starts consuming the life support, or maybe it's above 30 kilometers. In any event, bringing it in for a landing, and there we go. And for some reason, I forgot to do the recovery, so I'm going to do that one live right now. And here I am, ready for recovery. Now, why I didn't do this at the end of the flight, I don't know. And I've actually went on that. I told you at the beginning of the episode, I went on a weeks-long vacation and came back, and this guy's been sitting there ever since. So I don't know how much science I got or what's going to happen, so let's come on, do the recovery here. Okay, we got a crew report. We got good science there, up to 126, I think. Well, let's take a look. Let's go ahead and get into the R&D building. And I have not thought about what I want. There's no, the big requirements is for the next tier, tier 5, or not big requirements, but for the bonuses are to get crew reports from orbit from above the Badlands, and I think 3 other biomes. They have nobody die during tier 5, and there was one more, but again, it wasn't reliant on doing it with a particular number of sciences unlocked or anything like that. So I can grab whatever I want here. That one looks not especially useful. This one, I finally get an engine that produces electricity. That would be nice. LBT-30. And the small fuel tank. Yeah, I was never much for solid fuel boosters, but yeah, you never know. We got docking port. That's a nice one. Struts. Coming in here, plane stuff. I'm not much of a... Well, we got a Another parachute. It's not the radial mounted one. It's not a drogue, but at least it's another parachute. We do have another winglet. What else we have? Oh, heat shields. Yeah, I'm going to be that drag tickle, whatever that is. We've got here inline reaction wheel. And look at that torque, 0.2. That's nothing compared to the reaction wheel that you get in the stock game. BRCS tank, another probe body, which would be nice. I think that one's lighter. We're looking at mass 0.25. What's that other probe body weigh? 0.5. What's it take? Electrical charge 10 per minute. Electrical charge 5 per minute. That's on the to-do list there. Okay, we got an SAS. It doesn't offer any of its own whatnot. The transmitter, and I think I did the math on this one. It actually takes less energy to transmit stuff in these as compared to stock. And yeah, that's going to be nice. I'll need the command pod sooner or later. What we got here, seismic accelerometer. I won't need that till I land on the moon. Small landing strut, some illuminators. I do not know what I want here. Let's see again. Yeah, that one's not doing it for me. Creating electricity. That would be nice, and also that smaller can will make getting goo stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. The third sub challenge was getting goo reports from high and low orbit around the moon. This engine would make that a possibility. Struts and a docking port again. Yeah, that one would be nice. Yeah, I am stumped. I am going to go ahead. I should probably just go for that. Get that one challenge taken care of and out of the way. You know, I'm going to go for this one right here. Yeah. Okay, and I'll be able to get goo from high and low orbit. This will certainly help with that, and that'll allow me probably to buy one more item. So there we go. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. I'll see you next time. Good night, everybody, and you too, Mrs. Miller.